Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we'll be discussing the first house of the Zodiac wheel. Let's begin. In Greco-Roman mythology, the first house of the Zodiac can be symbolically linked to themes of identity, selfhood, and the individual's emergence into the world. While the astrological houses as we know them are more a creation of astrological systems than direct mythology, certain Greco-Roman deities and archetypes reflect the qualities of the first house. Identity and self. The first house represents self-identity, and in Greco-Roman myths, this aligns with Apollo, the god of the sun, light, and reason. Apollo is often seen as a figure of clarity and self-awareness, symbolizing individual identity and the ability to express oneself in the world. The emergence of selfhood and purpose can be connected to Apollo's role as the bringer of light, both literal and metaphorical. Beginnings and new life. The first house governs the beginnings and the way a person starts life or approaches new ventures. This can be compared to the myth of Prometheus, the titan who gave fire, representing knowledge and self-awareness, to humanity, symbolizing the spark of individuality and the beginning of a person's journey through life. Physical appearance and health. The first house also deals with physical traits and health, themes linked to Mars. Mars is the god of war and physical prowess, embodying the strength and vitality associated with the first house's influence on the body, particularly the head and face. Mars symbolizes energy, drive, and how one takes action, all aspects governed by the first house. Individuality and leadership. In the Roman pantheon, Jupiter, or Zeus in Greek mythology, could also be loosely connected with the first house because he represents leadership, authority, and a commanding presence. Qualities that the first house emphasizes in terms of how a person presents themselves and is seen by others. Thus, while the first house is not directly associated with a single mythological figure, its themes of selfhood, physicality, and identity can be reflected through these mythological gods and their stories, highlighting the individual's emergence into the world. In astrology, each house of the zodiac is associated with specific body parts. The first house is directly linked to the head and face, as it represents the self and physical appearance. The entire head is primarily influenced by the first house. This includes facial features like the eyes, nose, mouth, and ears. The first house is also associated with mental functioning and the brain. The structure and health of the skull are influenced by this house. Since the first house symbolizes identity and physical appearance, any afflictions or strengths in this house may influence a person's health and features related to the head and face. In Western astrology, the first house is known as the house of self. Like in Vedic astrology, it represents key aspects of a person's identity and physical presence in the world. It is associated with the ascendant or rising sign, which marks the zodiac sign that was rising on the eastern horizon at the exact moment of a person's birth. It reflects how an individual sees themselves and their core sense of identity. The ascendant and planets in the first house influence the physical traits, mannerisms, and style of the individual. It governs how others perceive you when they first meet you, including the energy or personality you project outwardly. It reflects to one's approach to life, behavior, and how they initiate actions. It shows their instinctual responses to the world. It can give some clues about the early stages of life or childhood experiences that shape a person's development. In Western astrology, the first house is often considered to set the tone for the entire chart, making it one of the most significant houses in understanding a person's outlook and approach to life. The sign on the cusp of the first house is your rising sign, which has a strong influence on your outward personality. In Vedic astrology, the first house of the zodiac is called the Lagna. It represents the self, physical body, and overall personality of a person. It is considered one of the most important houses in a birth chart as it determines the native's outward appearance, health, and the way they perceive the world and are perceived by the world. It reflects the person's basic character, temperament, and individual nature, overall build, complexion, and height, stamina, well-being, and vitality. The first house is also linked to how one approaches life, takes initiatives, and deals with new beginnings. It indicates the general direction of the native's life, their ambition, and what they project into the world. And that's all I have for the first house. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Have a good one.